In acting, God had placed in my spirit to go back to the piano, to just, start playing. And I'm like, God, I need to work. I got to get these, and it was like, just go, get a piano and just practice, just do your scales. And so I kind of half did it, but not really. My next job was a woman who played the piano. And had I been obedient fully in that moment, I would have been more prepared for the work. Now I did the work, but every day I was like, oh, I wish I had listened.
This is CIA, Contagious Influencers of America. I'm David Sames.
Hey, and I'm Victoria Robinson.
Karen Kendrick is with us today. She's an American actress, youth advocate, and speaker.
She played Minnie McMillan in the recent film Just Mercy, starring Jamie Foxx as her husband, and it also starred Michael B. Jordan. So if you haven't seen the movie, I highly recommend it.
She's also been in a lot of other films, The Hunger Games, Hidden Figures, I love that one, The Hate You Give, and of course, Grey's Anatomy on ABC.
And David, she's dedicated her life to mentoring young girls. So she is now the co-founder of the Kendrick Academy, and they teach students drama, dance, and music, which I think is fantastic.
What you're going to hear here is her passion about pouring into the lives of young people and preparing them for the future. And wow, does she ever have that down?
You know what else I love about her, David, is being an actress in Hollywood. People don't ever talk about their faith, but Karen feels faith is essential to being a full-time artist.
So here it is, my interview with Karen Kendrick. Karen, welcome to Contagious Influencers of America. Now, that's with 2 A's, right?
That's 2 A's. Country Karen.
How did that?
Karen.
How did that happen?
I have no idea. Growing up, my name was the least interesting name of all of my friends. And it wasn't until I actually left Fort Valley, where I'm from, Fort Valley, Georgia, that people were like, oh, Karen, is it really Karen and you're trying to be dramatic? No, it's really Karen. So I don't know. It's pretty regular where I'm from.
So did you just naturally have this thing in your blood that you just had to get out there and do what you do?
I think so, because I've tried so hard not to do it, and I can't not do it. I've had many careers that have kind of worked simultaneously or alongside. Some of them I loved, and that really I still do because there's, I think, purpose and service in that as well. But some of them I realized I was really just trying to escape what I believe is my calling. I come from pastors and teachers and service people on both sides of my family. And there is absolutely a calling on my life in terms of not just preaching the gospel, but living it. And so I often struggled with what that looks like and how it manifests. And what I believe now is that this is how it manifests. Being able to speak life, being able to bring a sense of love and understanding to people whose lives we may not either encounter or understand, or whose lives we may not be in close enough proximity to so that we can easily marginalize or other them. But if I can, in a way, share their lives and show you that they are human and worthy, then for me, I think that's a part of my ministry.
You've spent quite a bit of time inspiring others, inspiring young women. You seem to really put that at the top of your priority list. Why is that?
You know, there's a saying, be who you wanted when you were young. And I think part of it is that, but part of it is also me being who I had when I was young. I come from a community of men and women who believed in pouring into young people. There were always people who were offering programming and services and information and insight, whether it was an immediate family member or a community member. There was always this sense of preparing you for the greatness that was before you. And so as I began to gain more access and more understanding, I just always felt responsibility to share that with who I was close to, and to the young people who were kind of following in my footsteps, or who might not follow in my footsteps, but they won't know what they want to do until they can see what their options are. I taught dance at my performing arts center and drama for years. And part of it was, some of these young people will be artists. Some of them will be and are doctors who love the arts. Some of them are educators who love the arts, who can support the arts, who can share love for the arts with other people who now have creative problem solving under their belt because they had that experience. So, and some of them are, like Brittany, my makeup artist, is a former student of mine who has always been excellent. She was a teacher at the school, and now she's working with me. It's just, to me, something Lauryn Hill said back in like 94, I think it was. She said, I've traveled all across the world and I see children, and the difference in the children is not their ability, but their access, is what you can see. And so it's just always been about that for me, being able to show, like, here's what's possible. You can do it, whatever it is. Dream big, think outside of what you may know or understand, and just reach for whatever that is.
The roles that you have taken on, and you've had some incredible roles in recent years, is there something in each of those roles that you look for before you say yes?
I would like to say that I've curated this IMDb list of work for myself, but the truth is I haven't. The truth is I audition, and I think maybe what I connect to shines through, and so then I'm hired. But in the work, there are some things that I don't audition for. If it's something that doesn't speak to me or something that I can't connect with, I will say thank you, but no thank you. But once I am offered a role, I just really try to understand the life of this person that I'm going to share, whether it's a real person like Minnie McMillan, or whether it's a character that was created like Aisha in The Hate U Give. Aisha, for example, I always say Aisha's so misunderstood. She, makes choices that people frown upon, but there's a reason why. And so I try to get to the why. I try to really just embrace and understand at the very core who this person is and why they do what they do.
How has your faith played in this journey?
Listen, if you are going to be a full-time artist, you have to have faith because it is all unknown. It's not a path where you go to school and which you can, but there's no guarantee. Like if you teach, there's a guarantee 9 times out of 10 that if you go to school and you get the proper certifications and you apply, you will have a job. And you will work that job as long as you show up and do a good job. In acting, that is not necessarily the path. You can go to school, you can go to graduate school, you can work, and then you can never work again. Every job could really be your last job. And so then it becomes less for me about the job chasing and more about the purpose chasing. If I put all my time and energy into investing in making sure that I hobnob with the right people and say the right things and do, all of that, I'm going to be spent. It's not sustainable. And ultimately, there's no real return. So what I have to do is I have to be quiet. I have a pastor in Atlanta, Pastor Hale, that says, I only have one sermon, 2 words, trust and obey. And you don't trust who you don't know. So you got to take time. For me, I have to take time and really be in the Word. I have to take, even if it's like this morning with, one eye open, I'm tuning in to intouch.org, listening to Charles Stanley. I get that 3 minutes in the devotion or the 20 minutes in the sermon. But it's getting to the core of, for me, purpose. And then purpose guides you in faith to who you need to speak to where you need to be, to the work you need to do. There are jobs that I'm being prepared for right now that I don't even know about, but God knows. And I trust that He has my future in His hands. And so I have to be faithful in this moment with what He tells me to do that may not even make sense to me. I remember I had God had placed in my spirit to go back to the piano. to just, start playing. And I'm like, God, I need to work. I got to get these, and it was like, just go, just, get a piano and just practice. Just do your handing exercises, do your scales. And so I kind of half did it, but not really. My next job was a woman who played the piano. And had I been obedient fully in that moment, I would have been more prepared for the work. Now I did the work, but every day I was like, oh, I wish I had listened. And that taught me to listen, even when it doesn't make sense, even when I can't see the why, to be faithful in the moment, just to trust him and obey, because he can see farther than I can. And he's preparing me for greater than what I can even imagine.
Terrific. That's great. Well, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, Victoria, wasn't she just delightful?
Yeah, it was. And sometimes those short and sweet interviews are the best.
Well, I certainly enjoyed my time with her, and we've enjoyed our time with you. And we hope that you come back to us week after week and you share this podcast with so many others, because we're doing this for you. Hopefully you'll pick up a tidbit here and there and some encouragement along the way.
Absolutely. And I'm Victoria Robinson.
And I'm David Sands.
And you've been listening to Contagious Influencers of America from the producers of Keep the Faith.
Now, you can follow us on Facebook and Instagram, or go to KeepTheFaith.com.
Now, if you enjoy the podcast, and we hope you do, please go to Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and subscribe. Rate and review Contagious Influencers of America.
Join us next week. And of course, thanks for listening. And remember, go out there and live that life in living color, because it sure is a heck of a lot more interesting than living it in black and white.